Hello everyone, this is Mukesh Soni. I have come back with another video of the question answers of a famous novella Carvalho by Poornachandra TEJASWI. So in this video, we are going to have a brief discussion of the 2 marks and the 5 marks questions based on this novel Carvalho. So let's begin it. The first category of the questions answer the following questions in one of the 2 sentences. Each question carries 2 marks. So we are going to have a discussion for the 2 marks questions. Question number 1. Why did the narrator go to Moodigere Bee-keepers Cooperative Society? Whom did he meet? Answer is here. The narrator went to the Moodigere Bee Cooperative Society to buy honey bottles for 78 rupees, and there he met Mandana. Question number 2. Mandana and Lakshmana worked in. So where did Mandana and Lakshmana work? Mandana and Lakshmana worked in Bee Cooperative Society. How much did the bottle of honey cost? The bottle of honey cost rupees 78 rupees, and he paid 70 rupees first, then later he paid the remaining 8 rupees, and finally he purchased a tin of honey. Then the narrator bought the best of honey from which area? The narrator bought the best of honey from the Gutti area. The honey, the tin of honey which he purchased, which he bought from Mandana and Lakshmana, it belonged to the Gutti area, the best quality of honey. Why did the jeep stop and who helped the narrator? On the way back from the bee shop, the narrator's jeep engine made a few strange noises. Then it stopped because it does not have any petrol. 2 men on a Java motor bicycles helped the narrator bringing a can of petrol, and this is how the narrator was helped. Question number 6. Who is Pyara? What was he doing in the narrator's house? Pyara is a Muslim boy. He's working as a kitchen assistant in the narrator's house. Question number 7. The honey was whitish fluid, very much like coconut oil. The honey which he purchased from Lakshman and Mandana, it was very much similar to the, it was similar to coconut oil. Then question number 8, Mandana asked the narrator to buy which honey? Mandana asked the narrator to buy the Gutti area honey or a tin of honey, which belongs to Gutti area. Why did Mandana visit the narrator at Moodigere? Question number 9. As the minister, who was also the chairman of the Khadi board, was coming to Moodigere, and Mandana wanted to write an application urging the minister to appoint Mandana as the beekeeper of the society. For that purpose, Mandana handed over the application form and a blank sheet of white paper to the narrator to help him to fill it. So, in very simple words, I would say here, Mandana would like to apply for the job of the post of for the post of attender at Moodigere Bee Cooperative Society. He wanted to submit the application on the visit of the the minister, and for that he would like to get the application filled in. And to fill the application, he requested the narrator that to fill the application because Carvalho has gone out of station, has gone Bombay to meet his daughter who was not keeping well. So he had no other option. He came to meet the narrator to seek a help to fill the application for the post of the attender at the Moodigere Bee Cooperative Society. That's the reason that he visited narrator at Moodigere for the first time. Question number 10. Who is Carvalho? How did Mandana look up to him? Carvalho is a botanist, entomologist of a great renown. Mandana was Carvalho's disciple, student. Mandana considers him as his guru. 11. Question number 11. What happened when Mandana and his scout friends blew their bugles and beat drums? This commotion. So let me tell you in simple way that it was 15th August when the minister was about to visit the taluk office. to host the flag. And it was the occasion when Mandana was about to submit the application to the minister. On that day, Mandana and his team, as a scout and guides, they were about to do the march past, and they beat the drums, the bugles, the cymbals so heavily that it disturbed it disturbed all the bees here and there, and these bees they started to bite everybody, including the minister, police, bigwigs, and everybody ran here and there in the helter and skelter. So it was something like a stampede. Then question number 12. Why did the narrator why did the narrator meet Carvalho? The narrator's paddy fields were affected by strange variety of pest pest. He had suffered the losses. He got severe loss. He got a lot of loss here. He wanted to discuss this problem with Carvalho, and he went to his research center. Name the bee which attacks without provocation in South Africa, and the answer is here, Mau Mau bee. What did Mandana bring in a big gunny bag to the narrator's house? Mandana brought the A1 quality pork in his gunny bag to the narrator's house. Question number 15. What did Pyara see in an overturned earthen pot? Pyara saw the bees had built their hives in the overturned earthen pot. Kiwi. Oh, who was Kiwi? Kiwi was a white spaniel. Kiwi was the narrator's dog. Who is the father-in-law of Mandana? Why did he refuse to give his daughter in marriage to Mandana? Ramaya is the father-in-law of Mandana, who was also called as Norvey Ramiah. Norvey Ramiah refuses to give his daughter in marriage to Mandana because he was jobless. He doesn't have any job. Mandana has no permanent job, so he's very much worried, and that's the reason that Ramaya does not want his daughter to get married with this jobless person. Who is Prabhakara? Prabhakara is a radio mechanic in Chickkamangalur district and also a student of Carvalho, because Prabhakara was also working as a photographer, enlarging slides, films, etc. Moreover, he has set up a lab in the part of the research center of Carvalho. In Mandana's marriage, who acted as the father of the bridegroom? In the Mandana's marriage, Lakshmana, who played the role of the who played the role of the father of the bridegroom, that is Lakshmana. Now, what kind of pandal was raised? A small pandal was raised in Mandana's marriage. Why did the police arrest Mandana? The police raided Norvey Ramiah's house. They had heard of illicit distillation of liquor. They took away Mandana's honey pot, saying that it contained country liquor. Hence, Mandana was arrested for trafficking in illicit liquor, Desi Daru. How was Kiwi living on the floor? Why was he lying on the floor, not living, lying on the floor? Kiwi made a strange, painful sounds. Kiwi had hidden a big piece of bone with rotten flesh. The bone looked like that of a cow or an ox, or no mortal can bear the smell. Kiwi had treasured it to chew it at leisure, unseen, and this may have caused some infection, and it was lying on the floor. Later, Kiwi was taken to Moodigere hospital by the narrator. Who bails out Mandana? The narrator bails Mandana out. It is the narrator who who bails Mandana out. Name the lawyer who argues intelligently and wins the case in the favor of Mandana. His name is Cyril Gonsalves. Then, who is Yenkta? Yenkta is the snake charmer. Why has he come? He has come for hunting in the jungle. Then, Biryani. Who is Biryani? Biryani Kariyappa. is known for his cooking skills as well as his tree climbing skills. Then question number 27. In this novella, officially, which species is declared extinct? The flying lizard. So these are the 2 marks questions, and one more question we have here. Question number 28. Carvalho shows the narrator the glowworms which catch the bees and swallow them. What did Mandana find in the forest of Norway? Mandana found in the forest of Norway the rare bird, the flying lizard, as well as as well as which I have forgotten to mention here. Mandana also found the glowworms. Actually, Mandana is the first person who who found who did the discovery of the glowworms, which was shown by the narrator in his laboratory. Sorry, which was shown by the Carvalho in his laboratory to the narrator, and the narrator says that if you touch it still will have the lights. So this glowworm was first searched by Mandana in the forest, not the rare bird. He speaks about the rare bird indirectly. Then question number 30. Did Carvalho and his team members catch the flying lizard alive? No. The team could not catch, but the team witnessed it. Moreover, the one of the team members, that is Kariyappa Biryani, he was fortunate enough to grab it by its tail, but he could not hold it for a long time, and finally it slips from his hand, and afterwards they raced behind it, and finally it got disappeared, and they got disappointed. They could not catch it. So this is how these are the 2 marks questions. Now we are going to have a discussion for the 5 marks questions here. Answer the following questions in a page each. Each question carries 5 marks. Question number 1. According to the textbook, write short notes on Kariyappa, Yenkta, Lakshmana, Mandana, Pyara, Kiwi. All the important characters are here. Now, Kariyappa, a short note on Kariyappa. Biryani Kariyappa is an interesting character in the novella. He is known for his culinary skills in preparing excellent biryani, a famous chef or cook. He accompanies Carvalho's scientific expedition as a cartman. He purchases a bullock cart. He's bothered about shooting the birds and the animals on the way, while others are busy searching for the flying lizard. Cariappa is not only an excellent cook but also proficient tree climber. His tree climbing skills is reflected when he grabs the flying lizard by its tail. He's the only one person who is fortunate enough to touch the tail of the flying lizard. On the other hand, others could not touch it, could not experience it, except they just witnessed it. Yankta. Yenkta, the snake catcher, has come for hunting in the jungle. He comes to collect the skins of mongoose, otters, snakes. He says that there's not enough money in snake catching or medicines. An otter skin fetches him about 100 rupees, and a snake's skin just gives him only 13 rupees. So that could help him buy new clothes, etc. He was also taxidermist of sorts, and he was also seen selling stuffed foxes and mongoose. Yankata has come there to look for the cow that had run away. When Karipa was racing with the flying lizard, Yankata also joined in the expedition or to catch the lizard, the flying lizard. Lakshmana. Lakshmana works with Mandana in the Moodigere Bee Cooperative Society. Here, they sell honey. Lakshmana accepts the request of Mandana to play the role of his father and take care everything during his wedding. Lakshmana is so kind that he goes around to collect money for Mandana's marriage. Even he requests the narrator to help him in this regard. He is fed up of Ramia's demands, that is Mandana's father-in-law. It appears that Lakshmana has made his bride's people cry, cringe, and fall at his feet during his wedding, during Lakshmana's wedding, sorry, during Mandana's wedding. Now, Mandana, the very important character here. Mandana is a beekeeper by profession and has been considered as a vagabond by the local commoners and friends. But Carvalho, the scientist with an international reputation, describes Mandana as a born naturalist, a man with a keen art of observation and an extraordinary natural scientist. In Mandana's life, emotional and economical problems are interrelated. Norvey Ramiah refuses to give his daughter in marriage to Mandana because of his joblessness. He doesn't have a job. Mandana has no permanent job. He's very much worried. He refuses to meet. He doesn't like to meet Carvalho because Carvalho did not give him the job of an attender in his office. Mandana therefore requests the narrator to put in a word to Ramaya in his favor, and the narrator assures him that he would talk to Ramaya, but Mandana can get a job only if he gets married. The narrator therefore requests Carvalho to give a job to Mandana in his research center, but Carvalho expresses his inability to do so. He refuses, but he speaks to Norvey Ramiah to give his daughter in marriage to Mandana. Finally, with the efforts of Lakshmana, narrator, Carvalho, Mandana's wedding with Rami, that is Ramaya's daughter, takes place. The wedding takes place. A few days after Mandana's marriage, Mandana is beaten up and arrested by the police for illicit brewing, for keeping the illegal liquor, for doing the illegal liquor job, manufacturing job. At Moodigere, the narrator observes Mandana's plight at the police station. On humanitarian grounds, he bails Mandana out by standing surety to him. Finally, Mandana is released from the police custody. The narrator knows Mandana as an ordinary servant. Carvalho understands Mandana in a completely new light. Carvalho needs Mandana's service in the adventurous discovery of the mysterious dream world that is Flying Lizard. At last, the whole team who went for the expedition to explore the Flying Lizard, they got disappointed for not catching the flying lizard, but they are very happy to have been able to discover such a rare bird in the Sahyadri mountain range with the help of an illiterate person, Mr. Mandana. The next character is here Pyara. Pyara is a Muslim boy and a kitchen assistant in the narrator's house. He helps He helps narrator to search his dog Kiwi in the forest. He mocks at Mandana even after his marriage, saying if he becomes his caste man, Mandana can marry 4 times. Pyara helps to pack the bee box. He also joins the narrator's expedition in the jungle. Kiwi. In this novella, a non-human beings also play an interesting role. For example, the narrator's dog, Kiwi, is an interesting companion. Here, Purnachandra Tejaswi's photographic and microscopic observation of the animal behavior is in display. Kiwi, with its extraordinary olfactory organ, helps the narrator in many ways. When the narrator is discussing the possible sale of his land to a buyer, Pyara tells him that Kiwi has been absconding. The narrator and Pyara go in search of the dog in the nearby forest by wading through the thick shrubbery. Finally, they find out the Kiwi barking at an earthen pot full of bees. Thus, Kiwi helps them have interesting and disconcerting experiences. Question number 2 for the 5 marks. Narrate how the bees attacked when the minister addressed the public at Moodigere. Mandana could not present his petition for job to the minister in person. When he came to know that the minister's address was scheduled in the vast open ground in Moodigere on 15th August occasion, he decided to go there and took part in the scout movement group. The scout group was carrying with drums, bugles, and cymbals. After the unfurling the flag, Mandana and his scout friends blew the bugles, beat the drums, crushed the cymbals. The walls and the windows of Taluk office shook under the impact of the terrible din. Din means noise. The terrible noise he was creating. The hills and the forests around echoed, sent back the waves of reverberating noise. The murderous commotion disturbed the humble bees in the hives at the taluk office. They, getting angry, buzzed, flew around. Everyone was attacked by the bees, and the whole program was disturbed. People ran here and there, helter skelter, and Mandana could not submit his application to the minister. Question number 3. Describe Mandana's role in illicit brewing. The police raided Norvey Ramiah's house and heard of illicit distillation. They took away Mandana's honey pot, saying that it contained country liquor. According to the constable, when honeymooning at his father in law's house, Mandana was making country liquor and he had kept it in a honey pot. Then he admitted it. He said that yes, the honey pot belongs to me. Police arrested Mandana, put him in the lockup. The police filed a case and the court had also issued the summon. He would be fined for rupees 600 and put in a jail for a year. Question number 4. The narrator's paddy field was plagued by the strange variety of pest. Did Carvalho solve this? If so, how? Narrator went to see. 1 minute. I got some. Okay. Narrator went to see Carvalho for the first time, and here he discussed the problem of pest which were eating up his standing paddy crop. Professor Carvalho, Dr. Carvalho, listened to him patiently and suggested the narrator to bring a few samples and told him to drain away the water from the fields. Possibly, these pests lived the stem under the water and therefore the insecticides had been of little use. He also says that they must be army worms. Carvalho's prediction was right. The pest had taken shelter near the stem under the water was drained away, they dropped off, began to crawl on the wet earth, then the birds and the frogs and the ants made a feast of them. The remaining ones were sprayed with insecticides and destroyed, but by then they had been eaten away more than half the crop. The damage was done. Carvalho was happy to know the result of his experiment. Then Carvalho told Mandana, his disciple, about Mandana, his disciple, and the narrator also shared the bee incident of 15th August occasion. Question number 5. Discuss the relationship between the narrator and his dog Kiwi. In this novella, the human beings play a very important role. The non-human beings also play a very significant role. For example, the narrator's dog Kiwi is an interesting companion. Here, Tejaswi's photographic and microscopic observation of the animal behavior is in display. Kiwi, with its extraordinary sensory organ, the olfactory organ, helps the narrator in many ways. When the narrator is discussing the problem, the possible sale of his land to buyer, Pyara tells him that Kiwi has been absconding. The narrator and the Pyara they go in search of the dog in the forest. They found that he was nearby the earthen pot, which was filled with bees. So this is how Kiwi helps them interesting to have some interesting and disconcerting experiences. Not only this, when Kiwi got injured, we could see the relationship between Kiwi and the narrator. When Kiwi got injured, the narrator immediately rushed to the Moodigere hospital for his speedy recovery. That time, the narrator was lurching between Mandana's police case and Kiwi's horrible situation. Kiwi and narrator's bonding can be seen when the narrator lost his interest in the expedition. He started to think of his wife, his daughter, he became nostalgic, but Kiwi was the only link that remained with him at the moment from the world of memories. This is how the bonding between a human being and a non-human being was really more and more stronger and the strongest one. Question number 6. Write the role of Prabhakara in finding the flying lizard. Prabhakara, not Prabhakaran, spelling error. Prabhakara is a radio mechanic in Chickkamangalur district. Now he is a student of Carvalho who works as a photographer, enlarging slides, film, etc. He has set up his lab in Carvalho's research center. Prabhakar joined Carvalho's expedition to jungle along with others. Prabhakar was using chronometer, compass to know the right direction, and his his culinary skills were also appreciated. Prabhakar's transistor radio hung on the roof of the cart by a nail was blaring some Hindi love songs. On seeing the flying lizard by the narrator, everyone got alert. Prabhakar used binoculars with telelens and started to take few photos. He was told to bring movie camera and put the telelens to focus on the green patch of the moss. He gave binoculars to the narrator and focused on camera. He was like an astronomer getting ready to see a new planet swim across in the sky. His movie camera was making curr sound. Without taking his eye off the camera, the, the camera hole, Prabhakara pressed its button and everything got disturbed. The flying lizard crossed the green patch and got merged with the color of the bark of the tree. So this is how Prabhakar's technical skills played a very important role. Not only this one, there's one more thing. Prabhakar also helped to show the direction by using his instruments in a very appropriate manner. Then question number 7. How did the lawyer release Mandana from the illicit brewing case? So we know that after Mandana's marriage, police raided Norvey Ramiah's house and heard of illicit distillation. They took away Mandana's honey pot, saying that it contained country liquor. According to the constable, while honeymooning at his father-in-law's house, Mandana was making country liquor and he had kept it in a honey pot. And Mandana also admitted that the pot belonged to him. Police arrested Mandana and put him in the lockup. The police filed a case and the court had issued summons. He would be fined rupees 600 or maybe put in a jail for a 1 year. The narrator gives surety for Mandana. Carvalho appoints criminal lawyer to fight the case of Mandana. As directed by Carvalho, the narrator meets the criminal lawyer Cyril Gonsalves. He explains the case of Mandana. The narrator, Carvalho, and others, they attend the magistrate's court. In the court, the public prosecutor argued that whatever the pot content was indisputably base material for the manufacture of liquor. But Gonsalves asked the prosecutor if he would agree that what was originally in the pot was honey. And the prosecutor said, yes, it could be honey. That was the main point for Gonsalves. Gonsalves, Gonsalves argued that the cost of the bottle of liquor was 60 paisa, whereas the cost of bottle of honey was rupee 10, and no sensible man would want to lose 10 rupees on every bottle of liquor he made. Then why should he do the business of liquor? He should do the business of honey because he is getting more profit margin. The honey is 10 rupees and liquor is 60 paisa. So hence, lawyer Gonsalves intelligently wins the case in the favor of Mandana, and Mandana gets a sigh of relief from this case. Who is Yenkta? Question number 8. Who is Yenkta? Why did he come to the jungle? Okay, let's have some relief. Okay, who is Yenkta? Why did he come to the jungle? Yenkta is a snake charmer. He has come for hunting in the jungle. He comes to collect the skins of mongoose, otters, snakes. He says that there's not enough money in snake catching or medicine. An otter skin can give him 100 rupees, whereas a snake skin can give him only 13 rupees. That could help him buy new clothes, etc. He was also taxidermist of sorts, and he was also seen selling stuffed foxes and mongoose. Yankata has come there to look for the cow that had run away. When Cariappa was running behind Flying Lizard, Yankata also joined Cariappa to to catch the Flying Lizard. Then write briefly about the role of Carvalho, the most important question. Carvalho, who is an officer at the Paddy Research Center. Carvalho, who is a great botanist, entomologist of a great renown, and the most importantly, the teacher of Mandana. Carvalho, the scientist with an international reputation, he solves the narrator's problem of pest, which is eating away his standing paddy crop. Carvalho considers Mandana as a born naturalist, a man with a keen art of observation, and an extraordinary natural scientist. When Mandana is arrested by the police for illicit liquor case, the narrator gives surety for Mandana. Even Carvalho appoints a criminal lawyer to fight the case of Mandana. As directed by Carvalho, the narrator meets the criminal lawyer Cyril Gonsalves, explains the case of Mandana. The narrator, Carvalho, and the others attend the magistrate's court, and Mandana wins the case by the intelligent remarks of Cyril Gonsalves, and the credit goes to Carvalho. Carvalho also appreciates Mandana's findings about the glowworm, which has two tails which lights. Carvalho is interested in finding the lizard previously thought to have been extinct. Carvalho is now on a mission to find this creature. He asks the narrator to join his team, his fellow student Mandana, a cameraman, the cook biryani Kariyappa. The narrator begins the journey into the thick forest of Norway in search of an ancient creature which no human eyes has ever seen. At last, the whole team got disappointed for not catching the flying lizard, but they are very happy to have been able to discover such a rare bird in the Sayadri mountain range with the help of an illiterate person like Mandana. Carvalho's and the narrator's curiosity for the scientific truth is fulfilled. Last question for 5 marks. The narrator plays an important role in the novella Carvalho discuss, or we can say, what's the role of narrator? The novella opens with the narrator going to Moodigere Bee Cooperative Society. Here, Mandana and Lakshmana work as servants, the beekeepers. The narrator buys a pot of honey. a tin of honey, sorry, the narrator buys a tin of honey from Gutti area. Please make a correction. The narrator buys a tin of honey from Gutti area for rupees 78. He is quite happy to learn that the honey from Gutti area is of the best quality. Later, the narrator encounters Carvalho, who is an officer at the Paddy Research Center and a great botanist, entomologist of the great renown, and most importantly, teacher of Mandana. The narrator gets acquainted with the Carvalho by asking the solution of his crop's problem. He is amazed to see the new findings about the glowworms which were shown by Carvalho in his laboratory. The narrator helps Mandana to convince Carvalho to give him the job of an attender, but he fails. He also joins Carvalho to convince Ramaya to give his daughter to Mandana, and finally, he extends his support in Mandana's wedding. A few days after Mandana's marriage, Mandana is beaten up and arrested by the police for illicit brewing. At Moodigere, the narrator observes Mandana's plight at the police station. On humanitarian grounds, he bails Mandana out by standing surety to him. Finally, Mandana is released from the police custody. During the expedition in the quest of the flying lizard, it is the narrator who only has witnessed the flying lizard very first as the brown colored flying lizard. Note it. Narrator is the first teammates who has witnessed this flying lizard in the jungle. Then the race begins to catch it. And thus the narrator has weaved the first thread of the story till the last note of the story. The narrator's presence is well witnessed throughout the novella. So, dear friends, these are the questions for 5 marks. Now, the part 3. Answer the following questions in the 2 or the 3 pages each. Each question carries 10 marks. Now, in this video, I have not given the answers for the questions of 10 marks. So there are 5 important questions. Number 1, the flying lizard plays a significant role in the novella Carvalho. Substantiate. Narrate the first encounter between the narrator and Mandana and Lakshmana. Question number 3, describe the circumstances, how Mandana got married. The role of Carvalho in the novella is unique and different. Discuss. And the last question, the final moments of spotting the lizard was really enchanting. So, dear friends, I have not given the answers of these 5 questions because I would suggest you to go through the summary of the whole novella, which would help you to get the complete answer. And I already mentioned the link of my previous video about the Carvalho summary. You can go through the Carvalho summary video, which will give you all those 5 questions answers, and you can get the best marks. So I hope this video might have solved all the important questions. So wish you good luck. Thank you so much. Dear friends, thank you so much for watching this video. You can reach me at mukeshenglish@gmail.com. Please do subscribe the channel, click on the like button for more videos on literature, workbook, pronunciation, grammar, communication skills, presentation skills, interview skills. Stay in tune with Mukesh English. Thank you once again.